Hey everyone, and welcome to my video. If you're a new subscriber, welcome, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can check out future videos. Today we're going to be making a DIY Christmas decoration. My hope for this project is it's going to go on my fireplace. I had actually picked up a vintage window from my workplace. They were replacing all the windows in our historic building, so I actually got one for free. So for this project, you will need a vintage window, which you can pick up at resale shops, antique malls, vintage stores, and so on. And then the main centerpiece of the window decoration is going to be this vintage pair of ice skates. Again, you can pick those up at resale shops and so on. But this pair is actually from my grandparents' house. I think it was either my dad's pair or my uncle's. This project's pretty simple. The last couple things you'll need, and keep in mind, I'm making this project so that I can reuse the window, maybe change it around for fall or spring or something. So I am not placing anything permanently on the window. That's why you will need a pair of clamps. These clamps I got at Dollar Tree. They're just $1 each. You will also need a bow. So I picked this up the other day at Michael's. It was 50% off, extra 20%, so it was a great deal. I didn't want the sparkly red, gold, type bow because I was going again with that vintage type look. So I thought this bow was very nice and appropriate, and it's already tied and beautiful for me. So now for the top of the window, you're going to need 2 large picks. Now again, up to you what look you're going for. I thought about going with like frosted white. But I decided to go, again, a little more vintagey, a little more woodsy feel. So I had picked up 2 of these. They were $10 each, but again, I got them 50% off. So $10 for the pair, great deal. Last few things you'll need, you're going to need a strand of Christmas lights. We will be taping those around the back of the window to give it a little glow. From Dollar Tree, I picked up 3 final things. I got this little sleigh ornament, very cute. I'm going to hang it from one of the ice skates. Got this Believe ornament in silver, so a little sparkle to the vintage. And finally, just to dress up the bottom of the window, I got this cute, adorable sign from Dollar Tree. So it says, "Have a Merry Little Christmas." Again, a little sparkle. So with these few objects, we're going to go ahead and put together a beautiful vintage window. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do here is actually tape to the back of the window my Christmas lights. So I didn't want them to show up on the front of the window with the green cord and everything around it. So I am going to tape it basically to the perimeter of the window. And that way when you flip it around, it gives it that special glow and sparkle. So we're going to go ahead and start doing that. And I think I'll just use, regular Scotch tape. Hopefully it'll stick to the window here. And I'm going to leave this little plug at the top because I'm also going to have lights that are attached to the picks as well. So go ahead and start taping. Now that the lights are taped on the back, and I would suggest to use duct tape, not Scotch tape, I'm going to take the 2 picks, place them on the top, and I'm going to clamp them onto the window. So I'm going to kind of just figure out, I want them about halfway on, halfway sticking off. So I'm going to place both of them on here. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I only have about, 6 inches in between for the bow. Alright, so once I have the 2 things on here, turn it the way you want it. I'm going to take the clamp and just clamp it down. So I have the 2 twigs clamped onto the window. Next up, I'm going to clamp the ice skates. Alright, so I want to point out that I tied the ice skates together. So I made one longer than the other, but I did tie them here with a big knot. And so I'm going to go ahead and clamp them to my window. And again, I want them hanging down about halfway. So once I get them where I want them, I'm going to go ahead, loop it over right next to the previous clamp, and then I'm going to clamp it down right over the laces. Okay, and that's going to be strong enough to hold it. Progress so far, picks are clamped, ice skates are clamped, and the lights are taped to the back. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is actually take the bow. It has the twisty ties on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap those around the clamps. Don't worry if it's a little crooked or something. Just give it a little twist. Okay, so that bow doesn't fall off. And then, sorry, it needs to be a little tighter. I want it to be clamped towards the top. So one, it hides the clamps. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to kind of arrange my bow, making sure that the clamps are hidden. All right, it's looking good. All right, so the bow is now clipped on. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just adjust the ice skates to where I want them on the window. So I'm going to have one facing one way, the other facing the opposite way. So I'm just going to kind of spread them apart a little bit. I'm going to adjust the ribbons on here so it's kind of, there we go. I'm going to take my, if you remember here, the little sleigh I bought, the little ornament, I'm going to place that right on this shoelace here. I'm going to take my Believe ornament, and I think, because it's glittery, I think it's going to stick right here onto the shoelace. Yep. Okay. And the final thing will be the little cardinal sign at the bottom. There you have it. The window is done. Now again, you could do this with or without the lights in the back. Totally up to you.